Oh, oh, that's okay. What? Okay, so Mr. Applegate, I just wanted to show you the planks, the deck planks all fared in. All the repairs here fared in. The repairs that were done on the nose fared in. It's all, even this is all fared in now. And Tony has made one sanding on the sides. You got some serious dock rash here. We'll make that disappear. Anyway, he's got one sanding on the sides. And every place that you see color is, you know, we kind of look at this like it's a guide coat. So every place that you see color, that's a low area right here where you have color. Here's another low area. Here's a low area, here's a low area, here's a low area. So this was not sanded with a long line. Here's a low area. This wasn't actually properly sanded several times in its, perhaps many times in its lifetime. Here's a low area, here's a low area. Probably a random orbit sander was used, and every time that you change directions, you end up making a divot. And so you see all the divots. Now your planks are pretty, what we call fair. In other words, your plank seams are even heights, even depths. And see, here's where we've uncovered a bung's popped out there. We have to sink that screw deeper. Here's another one back here. We have to sink deeper. That's all part of the prep process for the strip and refinish. Definitely a random orbit that was used back here. You can see where some kind of circular sander dug in. Oh, and boy, look at that, where they sanded around your gasoline vent, your gas tank vent. They sanded all around that. Wow. So you can see where all those divots were. So that's we'll get that stuff out. So we're kind of, if we wanted to save money, we normally, when we sand, we use, we always use a long line. And here's some of our long lines. These guys are almost $400 a piece. This one runs a straight line back and forth. This one is orbital. We have two more of these as well. So these guys, what we normally would do is take the orbital, and we would even set it, we would sand up and down at angles, all directions, and you'll see these planks are very fair. They're very, you know, there's no change in elevation of the plank or thickness of the plank as you go down the side of the boat. It's all very fair. So that's how we normally do it. Most people, most restorers, normally just use a long line by hand perhaps, and they're kind of sanding each plank individually. And so if we look down these planks, this is one of the better boats, but if you look down these planks, there's differences in height. Let me find one that's right here. There's differences in height. Right here, there's all these differences in height. So overall, it doesn't look bad. So we could, normally it takes us 3 times around. We use an orbital with 40 grit. We use a orbital with 80 grit. Then we use orbital with 80 grit. Then we use a long line with 80 grit. And then we hand sand it. So it's like 4 times around. And so your planks, and actually I don't know that my camera's doing this justice and showing you some of the issues with this boat, but maybe if I had a straight edge. But anyhow, so to save money, if we make 2 passes with just 80 grit and a long line, straight sanding, instead of 4 passes, we could save a little prep time and save a few bucks. And hopefully bring it in under budget instead of on budget. I think we're going to be on budget with the strip and refinish. The transom, though, I would definitely do our procedure on the transom. You got straight edge handy? Oh, just a, well, yeah, I guess.
You mean?
Oh, yeah, it's not gonna hurt anything, I guess.
What do you mean, like straight edge?
Like a
Something.
like a ruler. Yeah.
I don't know what I was thinking. I was like in my brain that was.
Or ruler, or just a piece of wood that's straight. It's got straight edge. Oh, that'll work. Yeah. Thank you.
I'll see you tomorrow, Paul.
All right, Tony.
Have a good one.
All right, you too. So you see the daylight between here. You see how this is rocking. So I would suggest that on the transom, we don't try to cut a corner. You see this gap between this corner and right here? Because these are cupped. So I'd say on the transom, that's the most noticeable part. I would suggest that we do the 4-step process back here to make the transom really pop. And we can probably do just 2 steps on the rest of the boat, and we'll do pretty well. These planks we're doing some filling back here. We had a choice of new planks or filling, and I think we're in this case on these, this is the most economical. Is to just do the filling. So anyway, that's the latest update. Thank you for the payment. I got up at 3 o'clock this morning so that I could work uninterrupted, which makes me really happy. And actually fulfilled your request. I'll send you that information about where, what the budget in 2023 for the for the work that we're going to do. I'd say one other thought I would share with you is, this is a wooden boat. These planks are going to shrink and swell with humidity. And hopefully your humidity down there is probably pretty constant, because your temperature's fairly constant. You're freaking hot all the time and humid all the time. So my thought is that your plank seams will close nicely and stay closed. But typically up here, where it's very arid in the winter and very humid in the summer, these plank seams will open and close. It's aggravating. It's just part of a wooden boat. But they'll open and close. You can see how these have opened in the arid environment, and this is normal. So just wanted to let you know so that you don't ask me later, why are my plank seams open and closing? That's just, and you may already know this, so I may be insulting your intelligence, but that is the norm for these boats. Now, we didn't refinish this boat, so I wish I had my tape. I wish I'd saved my straight edge to show you. This plank is cupped. This wasn't what we would consider fared properly, but it still looks pretty damn good. Pretty damn nice. It's just something that we have an eyeball for, that I would share with you. All right, that's enough babbling, and we'll get this guy sent out to you here.